What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of That Great Podcast. Today, we have Sergio Mendez. He's a hilarious comedian from Miami. Today, I'd like to ask him a few questions, get an insight into his process, and see if we can learn anything. Looking forward to a great conversation. So, Sergio, great to have you, man.
Hell
Thanks
yeah, bro.
again for coming by. I wanted to just open it up. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man, and how you kind of fell into comedy.
Well, dude, like most comedians, it all starts with a breakup. So yeah, dude, I was 29. Me and my girl at the time broke up. I had tried to do comedy a couple years prior. I went to maybe 3 open mics when I was 25, 26 or something like that. And I kind of saw the miserable nature of what getting into comedy was. Because you'll go to an open mic, it'll be 10, 15 other open mic comedians. That's the entire audience.
Okay.
You go and you got to wait 2 hours to go up for 3 minutes while they're all in the back of the room being like, I'm funnier than him.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Right.
So I saw the miserable nature of that. I was still fairly young. I still had a social life. So in my head, I was like, fuck this, dude. I'm going to go have fun.
Yeah.
I don't need to make myself depressed. I'm chilling.
Right.
I'm good.
Right.
So I went and, whatever, kept living my life, blah, blah, blah. Then, years later, me and this chick broke up. I'm 29. Most of my friends are starting to have kids. They got families. I don't got shit to do. So I'm like, bro, I got to do something, I got to figure something out. I need an outlet. I always wanted to be, I always thought I was funny for sure. And it was something that I always admired and loved, dude. I loved comedy. I grew up on Comedy Central, Premium Blend.
Were you the funny kid in school?
Yeah, I would say, I was funny-ish, bro. I mean, my crew, I know dudes who are funnier than me. I'll admit that. I have friends who are funnier than me that don't do comedy and have no interest in doing comedy, but they're just hilarious people.
Funny.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I think I was always pretty funny. I was always pretty funny,
you were talking
dude.
about your influences as well. Who did you kind of come up listening, enjoying?
Yeah,
watching
man.
Comedy Central.
All my favorite comics are dead. Greg Giraldo, Patrice O'Neal, George Carlin. That's my big 3
I
right
love
there.
Carlin,
Those
yeah.
are my 3, dude. Some people hate on Carlin because he got kind of preachy at the end, but hey, give him a pass, bro. The dude was old as hell, and he had reasons to be bitter, you know?
Yeah, and he told me the lie. He was still spot on with a lot of.
Oh, I mean, all that shit's true today. Yeah,
it's even
exactly,
more
bro.
true today.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Carlin was one of above, man. So how long have you been doing comedy?
I've been in the game legit for 6 years now. Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
6
so
years.
Tell me about kind of the first live gig, when you got back into it.
Well, first I'll tell you about my first real, first attempt at comedy,
Yes.
my first real gig ever, dude. I think I was 19. It was my friend's house party, and his band was playing, and he was like, "Hey, bro, you and your me and my other friend who were we were kind of both funny dudes. He was like, you guys want to do some sort of comedy thing, for this party?" And I was like, all right, yeah, let's do it. Fuck it, let's try it. So me and him wrote out a set, like a dual set, if you will, because we were kind of pussies and we didn't want to go up there alone, I guess, we were kind of scared. And then we went to go do that, and then my one friend who was supposed to do it with me totally pussed out.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I'm too high, I can't do this. So I went on and I did it anyways, and it went terribly, but one chick with big tits did compliment me after, so I kept that in the back of the head for years later. I was like, maybe this is something that's pretty cool, dude. But no, my first real set was at Churchill's back in 2019, probably in the back outside. And yeah, man, it was just an open mic. It was just a Churchill's open mic, the dirtiest, realest, rawest open mic that Miami has ever had. So if Churchill's ever comes back, putting that out to the world, you guys gotta go be patrons of that place because it's a fucking staple in the city.
Yes.
It's a legendary spot, and it's the only place where you're gonna get the biggest wide array of different type of styles. You know what I'm saying? You'll get a comedian, you'll get someone who's playing just shredding on guitar.
Yeah.
You'll get some dude saying poetry that makes zero sense. You know,
on a single night. This is
all back to back, dude. There's some poet guy that I saw at Churchill's probably 10 years ago that I could still remember his poem.
Wow.
I still remember the end of his poem because it was so stupid. He was like, this was the end of his poem. He was like, I could have had sex with all of the girls in the world, but I didn't because her eyes were the sweetest of pearls.
Wow.
And I'm
It's
like,
actually pretty profound.
it's pretty good. I know. Dude, that dude probably got laid a bunch, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Churchill's, man, dope spot.
And that was kind of when you came back into it, that was your first.
That was my
gig.
first real.
How'd that one go? Were you kind of in a better flow with the audience?
To be totally honest with you, man, I really don't remember. Like I could, you'll hear comics.
Horribly, then.
I don't think it went terribly. I don't think it went great. I think it was pretty like not memorable.
Right.
Believe me, I've bombed a million times.
Yes.
Any comic who says they don't bomb is just fucking lying, or they suck at comedy.
Right.
Straight up.
Playing with their family, like saying in front of their family, basically. Like,
Yeah, dude. There's no way you haven't. If you're really out there doing this thing and you're trying stuff out, you're gonna bomb your face off.
So let's talk about that. So, we were saying just before we got started, I really respect comedians and the art just because it is hard. It's hard to be funny, objectively funny, and that my kind of first experience at one of yours was kind of by happenstance. And I mean, man, I've seen, no shade, not gonna say names, but I've seen comedians on Netflix, and like giving them like that I hadn't heard of, and I'll give it a shot, and just maybe not my cup of tea, but I'm not laughing, laughing. So I'm here, local show at my friend's place, and there's a special event going. You come up on the stage and you just start murdering, bro.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you, wrong, dude. Fuck, man, don't.
No, for real.
Don't, dude.
I'm laughing hysterically, and by the end, I'm just like, okay, this guy's got it. So tell me a little bit about, I guess, your process, and does it kind of vary from comedian to comedian? Like, is there a system
man
of writing jokes?
I'll be honest, dude. My whole life, I've been a pretty lazy guy, dude. I don't like putting effort into stuff. I've always been the guy who just signed his name on the project and was like, I was there. So, just give me a little bit of credit there. But no, to be honest with you, bro, my writing process, I don't think I've ever really sat down at a table with a notebook and said, I'm going to write jokes right now, and written something that I liked.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been like, okay, it's time to go write comedy, and sat down and written something that I fucking was like, damn, this is great. I really like this, I think the best comedy is like organic, honestly. All my best shit comes from me just shooting the shit with my boys, just talking shit, riffing, having a beer, just talking, honestly, man, just venting,
Does it start with like kind of like maybe you'll say something.
I'll say something where I'm like, oh shit, that's a concept right there,
that,
and then I'll write it down. Like I'll write that down in my phone notes, and then I'll expound upon that. Sometimes I will sit down and just try to expound upon like some words that I wrote. Like sometimes I'll just be like multiple personality disorder.
Okay.
And then in my head I already know I know where I'm going with that. Like I'll be like, oh yeah, that means I got 10 different voices in my head, and at any time. I got 10 different voices in my head, and 8 of them are black. That's the type of like shit that I come up with in my head. I'm like, that's a good one. That's great. I said that to my boy like me and my boy were just having a beer, and I'm like, dude, I think I'm fucked up in the head, And then I said,
I'm onto something.
And that just came out of my mouth, and I was like, that's a joke. That's a bit. I have to write that down, and then I start writing more. I'll riff on that,
Right.
And then also, just conversations with other comics too, man. Like, once you kind of like find your little comedic community, you find the people that you mesh with, people that have similar sensibilities. You find the people that you could really riff with, and I think that's like where all the best comedy comes from, dude. Just sitting in a circle, literally just talking absolute shit, like literally stuff that doesn't have to make any sense, but it's just funny, you know?
Right. And do you see, because I'm kind of far removed from it, do you see Miami developing into maybe like the next kind of comedy hub? Like, how's the community down here, and how's the scene for comedy?
I'm hopeful. I'm a dreamer. I want Miami to be, I would love Miami to be a pillar of comedy in the U.S., be one of the places that people think of when they think about comedy. It definitely has the potential. Definitely can be, man. But we're a super small market right now. We're all the way, as far as touring goes and stuff like that, it's all the way at the end. So it's, a lot of people don't always want to come here and stuff like that. Right. And then we only have one real club. So we need to I think we just need more venues, but there's some young comics, some newer guys in the scene right now who are like really putting in work and trying to build the community, which I really respect. And I think we need more of that. You know, we need more people to be putting on shows where we grow a local fan base, where people are like, oh, look, that's Sergio, that's Jay, that's this guy, that's that guy. Like, I know these guys, I've seen them. I can't wait to see what he's got tonight, you know, like where we're growing like an actual fan base. And it is happening little by little, you know?
Yeah, I'm seeing it. I mean, I started following you after that show, and I think like just shortly after that, you hit 10,000 followers.
Yeah.
Like organically. So
yeah, man.
You know, I did like a quick little browse through, and you kind of like have the skits with the doing X or whatever if you're in Miami. You know, so has that been a key element for you in terms of building that fan base as well, the social media?
Absolutely, dude. Yeah, man. I mean, if you're, you know, it's just the name of the game nowadays, bro. If you want to be a comedian and you think you're just gonna tell jokes and that's how you're gonna get to where you want to be in comedy, I'm sorry to break it to you, brother, but that's not gonna happen, dude. You gotta be out there. You gotta play the game. You gotta whore yourself out to the algorithm just a little bit, you know, with integrity if you can, and without if you can't, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter, but you got to just do your best to do something that you feel okay about, something that connects with you. As long as it's authentic to you, bro, then I think that eventually people will resonate with it and they'll get drawn towards that. You know, I started all that shit. It was just bullshit, honestly. I like recorded one video about like how to drink water in Miami, bro. Like that was it, you know, and it was literally birthed from me making fun of kids that I went to high school with. I was just in my head being like, let me remember all the like the bullies and the fucking idiots from high school. And then now all those guys are commenting on my video like, I love you, dog. That's my shit. That's my boy. Like, you know. So it's funny how things work out. But yeah, man, I mean, I didn't even think twice. It was just something that came to me. I didn't second guess it. I just put it out there into the universe, and the video like blew up. And then I was like, all right, let's just fucking rinse and repeat. Let me roll with this for a little bit, you know. And then I sprinkle in my actual stand-up clips here and there in between, just to remind new followers and other people like, hey, the whole reason why I'm doing this is so that you can come see me do my real thing, you know. So that's the key. You got to always bring it back to the comedy if that's what you're trying to do, you know.
And would you say the certain content that kind of reacts better, let's say, or gets better metrics, does that kind of tell you, oh, maybe this is an area to explore more? Like, is there overlap in terms of your social media and kind of your joke writing process?
You know what, man, to be honest with you, I haven't even really explored that too much as of yet. You know, I haven't really been like looking at it like, oh, look, the metrics on this video were great, so I should do a joke about this. But it's something that I probably should think about, you know. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, I'm getting a lot of advice from a lot of people right now, and I'm trying to digest it all. I'm not someone who can't take advice, like, you know, although I say that in my set, but no, I could listen, and I could, you know, I'm willing to, like, I'm just trying to, like, basically, dude, I'm just trying to be able to feed myself and pay my rent from telling jokes. That's my dream, bro. That's all I want to do. I love making people laugh, you know. It makes me super happy, and it's like I've never done something that gives me the same feeling, to be honest with you, man. Like when I get off that stage, like when I get off that stage, bro, and I had a good set, and like everyone in the room is like just like buzzing and like, oh man, that was great. Like, you know, nothing matches that for me, bro.
Yeah, and I've heard like, you know, older comedians kind of talking about bombing and then all that. It's like there's a certain like acceptance with it. Are you kind of there now? Like even if you have a bad set,
oh fuck yeah,
doesn't really
dude.
affect you too
much.
Not
at all, dude.
Do you learn more from the bombs than the, you know, huge.
You definitely can, man. It's a give and take, bro. You know, I don't know that you necessarily always learn more from a bomb, but there are instances for sure where you can learn more from a bomb. You learn how to handle certain things, you know.
You can turn it around. I've
and yeah, exactly. And then there are times where it's like you're just eating it, and then out of nowhere you find one thing, and then that's it. The whole set, the whole room, you shift them back, and they're like, "Oh, we fucking love this guy now, dude." You could be eating a dick for 4 minutes, and then the last 6 you kill, and then they remember that. That's what they remember, you know.
Right.
But yeah, dude, I've had my fair share of bombs, dude. You know, I did a set one time during COVID at this place called what was it called? Sweet Caroline's. It's a karaoke bar in Brickell, and it was like mid-COVID or like whatever, like COVID was kind of like ending, I guess, and they still had all these partitions up, these like plexiglass partitions in between the little booths where people would sit at the like they had like little booth seating. They had these like plexiglass partitions up, And in the middle of my set, some guy that worked there, I guess, is literally just fucking ripping down these partitions like loud as shit in the middle of my set. And I'm there yelling like, I'm doing comedy. I'm doing comedy, bro. What the fuck? Like, I used to get really aggressive and angry and yell at the crowd and stuff.
That always helps.
And that does not help. It does not help. All the comics love it, though. They're like, oh, fuck, look at him bombing, dude. Look at him. Look, he's fucked up. But, yeah, exactly, dude. So that's why I think, you know, it's like, it's a rite of passage and you got to learn about it, man. Like, I used to bomb and I'd beat myself up about it for days. Like, I'd be, you know, so down on myself and like just it would psychologically fuck me up. But now that I've been doing it for so long and I've been through so many bombs and, you know, it's just like, it's not that serious, bro. Like, it really isn't, man, you know?
Yeah.
The goal is to have fun and to make people laugh, bro. You can't take it too serious, you know?
Yeah, and every audience is different. It's really going to depend.
Exactly, bro.
You know? Do you find that audiences in this city kind of vary? Or, like, does it depend?
They do. No, they definitely do, bro. Yeah. They definitely do. Depending on, you know, what area you're at, you might get a different kind of person. I will tell you this 100%. And don't take it the wrong way. Ladies, beautiful women, I fucking love you guys. I love you so much. But you're the worst audience members in the world. Hot chicks don't want to laugh because they're going to fuck up their Botox or they're going to fuck up their makeup or something. I don't know what. But, dude, it's so hard to make those chicks laugh. They'll just look at you like that. So I'm like, I'll tickle you. I'll tickle you right now. I'm gonna make you fucking laugh.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like Brickle's a little bit of a
stuck up.
It's a little bit. You gotta just work it a little bit more. Yeah. But you could get them. You can make any audience pop. Honestly, man. You just gotta kind of get into their heads and be like, look, hey, I know where you're at. Yeah. But come with me a little bit. Let's try to like find a middle ground. You know.
That's the art of it, man. And I think like, are you able to kind of get that sense?
It's reading a room, man. It's reading a room. It really is.
And especially if you have the privilege of going, let's say, second or third, you know, you get a more of a temperature feel for the room.
No, absolutely. Anyone who doesn't, you know, being the bullet, being the host, those are incredibly tough jobs.
Opening.
Always mad respect to the host, bro. The host of any comedy show, the dude who's opening up the show and hosting and everything like that. That shit is not easy. I've done it many times, and it's not an easy job, man. It's a thankless job too. Yeah. No one gives a fuck. All the other comics are just like, oh, I killed, hell yeah, dude. And the host is there just eating it. But you know, it's like it's part of the gig, man, and it's part of the rise up the ranks too. You know, it's like a rite of passage. So for sure, going up a little bit later is definitely nice because you can watch the crowd, read the room, see what's going on, and get a little temp check for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And have you started exploring, or have you started touring yet, or have you just been staying on the local?
I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it. I mean, I've featured at some different clubs before for sure. I've done comedy, you know, outside of Miami and like, you know, some small clubs like in Fort Myers and Tampa and stuff like that, and you know, but
how are those crowds?
Sick, honestly,
a little more open.
Amazing, dude. I've had some, dude, like, and they're old people, dude. I've killed to like 50 plus.
Yeah.
But they want to laugh, dude, and that's their night. Like for them, it's like that's it. That's the only thing that's going on. That's the whole event. Yeah. Here, it's like it's the pre party. They come out and they're like, all right, we'll go see this shit for like an hour, and then we'll go to the club, and then you know, like, so it's a different vibe, you know?
And they're more appreciative, probably.
They're very, for sure, because you're literally giving them the entertainment for their night, like, you know,
Do you think that their reception to the jokes is kind of like mark of their culture? Like they're like you're saying, there is a different lifestyle up there.
It's definitely their lifestyle, and I was shocked that I was so well received because you know I'm kind of like just
loose cannon.
Yeah, I'm kind of just all the way out there, you know. I don't really hold that much back, and I'm pretty, you know, I could be vulgar, I could be, you know, a lot of things. And I was just shocked that they were all like, you know, they had a great time. They enjoyed themselves, so you know, I was grateful.
That's fucking awesome, man. So let's talk a little bit. You mentioned that you have a pretty low bar for what you want to accomplish in terms of comedy wise, but do you have?
No, I don't, dude. I have a high bar, honestly. I mean, I overall I do have a very high bar of what I'd love to accomplish for
tell
sure.
Us a little bit about that.
You know, I mean, dude. I mean, you know, I want to sell out the Miami Improv. You know, I think I could see that happening in my future.
Yeah.
You know, I'd love to. Yeah, I want to be a touring comic, a Netflix special, all that, man. I got all the big goals for sure, man. then, you know, but
Yeah.
to start, I got to be able to feed myself and pay my
That's
rent.
right there.
And then
You
that's,
start there.
once I got that, then I
Yeah.
could just build, you know, because
Right,
then I
right.
don't have to worry about working a real job anymore. My
Sure.
job is just comedy. And then, you know, I could put 100% of my time and effort and devotion into just this thing that, you know,
Yeah.
that I love. Yeah.
Is there and I'm forgive my ignorance, but is there like a not local per se, but a comedian that's come out of Miami that has like really blown up? And you know, I know there's people from the Northeast and LA. There's probably a laundry list, but is there anyone from South Florida that's actually kind of broken through?
Yeah, dude. I mean, obviously the Marcelo, bro, Marcelo Hernandez. He's on fucking Saturday Night Live, dude. That's
Oh
like
shit.
as big as you could
Marcelo,
get, dude. He's
I'm gonna have to
huge.
Google. Yeah, I'm so removed from the pop culture, so
Yeah,
that's okay. He's
no
from
worries,
Miami.
dude. No,
Yeah.
you're good, bro. But
Yeah.
yeah, that dude's fucking massive. Like,
Okay.
probably, yeah. Like, there will be no other Miami comic who's more successful than
Right,
him.
he
He made it to
he's the Jordan,
SNL.
yeah. He's the
That's
Jordan
it.
of
Like,
yeah.
you're not gonna get better than that, dude.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
But I'll happily take a Netflix
Second- yeah.
special watched by a couple of, you know,
Yeah.
a couple 100,000, and
Yeah.
you know, let me make a couple bags.
Right.
Perform at the Comedy Store. I mean, I performed at the Comedy Store actually. Yeah, I did a
Yeah.
roast battle there, so that was
Oh,
sick.
nice.
Yeah, that was a
That's
cool
awesome.
benchmark moment for me.
How hard are roast battles? That's a whole nother art form, isn't it?
Yeah, dude, it's not really like my forte. It's not something that I really have a lot of interest in doing that much, to be honest with you. It was just me and my buddy, so it was fun. Like we just had a good time, you know. We were
it's
just
easy to rip into your
yeah,
friend
especially
anyway.
when you're friends with the
Yeah,
person.
you
It's
can
like
really-
it's fun, you know, and
Yeah.
you guys have history together, so you know a
Yes.
lot about each other. You got a lot of ammunition.
Right.
But like in terms of like, I respect it though. I do respect the art of roasting
Yeah,
and shit. It's
yeah,
really
it's
tough to
hilarious.
do and to be
Yeah.
good at.
Yeah.
Definitely not like my thing, dude.
Right.
Like, you know, because I'm you know, because I'll just revert back to my old bullying ways. To be honest with you, if it goes too long, I'll just be like, yeah, well, what the fuck
Give
then,
him a
dude?
swirly.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, yeah, well, you're gay, you're stupid. I'll just run out of shit, and I won't be witty
Just
anymore.
deteriorate to
Yeah, I'll
pure
slowly. Yeah, exactly. I'll slowly deteriorate to my id.
That's great, man. Well, yeah. So goals wise, you definitely want to hit some major ones. Is there kind of what's like the roadmap for something like that? Like, how do you start to get
Shit,
those
bro.
things?
I got my whiteboard at the crib where I have all my goals down.
Mapping it
Straight
out,
up, I
yeah.
do, bro. I got my
step
whiteboard
at a
and I
time, man.
visualize, dude. You
Yes.
know, my goal right now, I'm just trying to hit 20K
Okay.
on IG. I'm trying to do it before the end of the year. We'll see if it's possible. I'm pretty close to 11 right now,
Nice,
so
man.
start following me right now, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Magic City Pacino.
Yeah, get 'em out there, man.
But yeah, I'm trying to hit that, and I applied to a couple comedy festivals, so I think I might get accepted to at least one or two of those.
Nice.
So hit a couple comedy festivals, network some more, link up, meet some more cool people, you know, and yeah, you know, I mean the real road starts with being able to feature. Like if I could just start featuring for a big comic, for someone who's
Right,
a
that's
headliner,
already a foot
who's
in the
well
door.
known, who's already established, then you go on tour with them. Then you start picking up all the experience. The clubs start to get to know you. Then you got your foot in the door. Like
Right.
then you're there, you know? And
Right.
then a year from then, you could send a tape with 30 minutes and be like, hey man, I would love to headline, you know?
Yeah,
And if you
someone
got the
speaks to it.
following, they'll give it to you, honestly,
Right.
man. You got 50 to 100K
Yeah.
and you got a good 30-minute clip, they're gonna let you headline.
Right.
So I'm building that right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also, yeah, that's another goal I'm trying to do. I'm trying to lock it in right now. I'm trying to lock in a date for October to go ahead and film a 30-minute we're not gonna call it a
like,
special,
yeah.
but you know, we'll just call it
It's
a regular
Yeah, and
special.
it's actually very curated, and like you're gonna.
No, it's
you
gonna
know,
be like
you're
a set that
right.
it's
like
gonna be a
well
well
thought
thought out set.
Nice.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
That
I'm
I want to
looking
film
forward
and
to that.
record and have it really nice.
I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to that, man.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but going back, you mentioned that social media aspect. Whether you kind of want to play that game or not, that also plays a huge role in terms of getting picked up, right?
Oh,
the
dude.
bigger you're following, you already come with that offering. You know, it's like, well, I'm bringing these eyeballs already on top of your platform. So I think you're on the right track, man. And like I said, you murdered at that show. It made me like, I'd be like, oh shit, there's a Miami scene. Like,
Yeah,
let me
dude.
Start.
There
Let me
is,
start
bro.
looking into it a
Have you
little
been to
more.
other shows
I have
since?
not, I
No,
have
no.
not.
All right, bro.
Full transparency,
For sure, dude.
But I want to start like
I
exploring
think
that, man.
September 13th,
Yeah.
dude. I'm doing a show at Mids Market. It's like a thrift store, so it's a pretty cool
shit.
venue. Yeah, it's gonna be a sick venue. But yeah,
Nice.
y'all should come through, man.
When is it?
September 13th. September 13th at Mids Market. Yeah. It'll
Nice,
be in my
man.
bio and everything
Okay,
like that.
cool.
Yeah, for
man.
sure.
Well, listen, Sergio, it's been absolutely fantastic talking to you, man. I think you're on the right track for sure. You're friggin' hilarious. If you want to close out with anything, share some dates, share that your Instagram handle again.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate the time too, my brother. For real, man. You're very formal. You're such a just a formal, good dude, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I know in there somewhere though. If I had like 6 beers with you, you'd be like, yeah, fuck this, man. Just gotta get a little sauced up. Yeah, dude. I don't know if you guys want to check anything out. You know, you want to follow me. My Instagram is Magic City Pacino, Pacino, like Al Pacino. My website is sergiomendezcomedy.com. I'm slanging t-shirts. If you mess with my little skits, I got a whole like what's up dawg type of little world that I've built. And I got some shirts that are, you know, basically built off of that brand.
Yeah.
So I'm selling shirts on my website, $25. I'll write you a handwritten note if you buy one because I love you that much. And yeah, bro, you know, that's pretty much it, man. I'm out here chasing my dreams. I hope everyone goes out and chases their dreams too, man. And authenticity is a lost art, bro. So try to be true to yourself. You don't always have to be, even as a comic, you don't always have to be funny. There's times when you could be serious. There's times where you could be deep. You know, every moment has its right attitude and right mood. So, you know, just be true to yourself, bro. That's really it. You know, that's my message to the world, for real, man. Authenticity. The world needs more of it.
My man.
Yeah.
Support this man. Follow him. Sergio, thank you so much, brother.
All love, brother. Appreciate you,
next
man.
time.
Thank you, dude.